Hello, welcome here. In this lecture, we have been talking about the transactions and gas fees in additional information lecture. In this lecture, will continue in a similar fashion. This will be also additional information lecture. So if you feel like you have enough information about the gas fees, you can go ahead and skip to the next lecture. Okay, so for those ones that are staying here, let's explain a little bit more gas fees, in which units this is stated, what we are using here, because of course, gas price of 20 billions of something, or if it's if, that would be too much. Okay, definitely 20 billion if would be too much, so that this unit has to be something else. Actually, all of these prices here for a gas are in if, but they are in a smaller denominator of if, because if has some small denominators, and I will be talking about them right now. Okay, so I will be writing here, so we will understand it better. The smallest denominator of ether is one way. So you have a one way, and let's say, but the one way is one way. Okay, so one way is one way, and here I will be stating the values in a ways. Okay, so values in way. I'll be just writing here the most common ones. So we have one way, and then we have also one gwei. This is a giga way. Okay, so one gwei. All right, and then one gwei is 1 billion of way. So 1 and 9 zeros. 1, 3, 3, 9 zeros. And then, of course, we have a one Ethereum, not Ethereum, Ether. And one Ether is 1 and 18 of zeros. Okay, so 1 and 18 of these zeros here. So it's a super huge value in a way. Okay, and 18 of these. So this is basically 10. It's basically 1 times 10 on 18th. Okay, of the way. Okay, so that's the, I don't need to multiply it actually on the way, that's just a 10 on 18, okay. So that's the basically the denominators of the if, because transactions fees are usually very low. So for example, transaction fees can be something like 0.00032 of if. So we are not saying the transaction is 0.0032 if, but rather we'll say the transaction cost will be 32, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, let's say like this of a gwei. Okay, so we'll say they'll pay for a transaction 320,000 of a gwei, rather than saying that it will pay for a transaction 0.00032. And of course, these denominators for a transaction can be even smaller. For example, if I would pay for a transaction 0.00000000032 of ETH, of course, is easier to say. I don't know how many zeros I wrote here. It's easier to say it's, for example, 0. Or it's easier to say it's, for example, 320 way than saying it's a 0.000 and so many zeros, 32 Ethereum. So that if that's why we have these denominators of ETH. All right, so that's what I want to mention. So this is the denominator. So everything is stated in the Ether value, but they have a different denominators. If I have different denominators, also the price for a gas is usually stated in a gwei. When you will see the price for a gas is usually stated, in a gwei. Okay, and also all these denominators, there are more of them. They are here. I will include this link in the description, and you have here this unit. So you have a way, you have a gwei here. This is a gigawei. All right, so that's 1 billion of way, and then of course you have Ether, and Ether is a 10 on the 18th. Okay, so this big value of in a way. Okay, and this will be included in the resources. Also, by the way, this GitHub on Ethereum book, it's a very good resource. I'm highly encouraging you to read it if you have a free time. Okay, but now let's take a look on these transactions here. We are saying here that we are willing to pay for this amount of the gas, and we are willing to pay this price for the gas. That's the gas price. Actually, let's show it on the actual transaction. Let's go to Etherscan. And let's search here for any transaction. Now we will look for some simple transaction. I need to mention here, I will draw it actually. When you are making transactions, the simplest transaction is to transfer one money of Ether from one account to another account. So one account 1 to second account, transferring the Ether from one account to account is standardized to be 21,000 of the gas. So you need to pay for 21,000 units of the gas. Depending on the current gas prices, you can check the gas prices on the internet. Usually depends what's the traffic on the Ethereum network. If there is a huge traffic, a lot of transaction, of course the gas price is higher. If there is a low traffic, the gas price is smaller. So usually the gas price, so price for one gas, once for fry gas, it's gonna be, when it's smaller traffic, it can be 25 GWh. For one gas, when it's a huge traffic, it can be also 70 and more of a GWh. Okay, that's why also too is a good idea to make a transaction when there is a lot of traffic. You will pay much less of a Ether for a transaction. Okay, so we'll be looking for the transaction to sending Ether to Ether from account to account. Okay, so here we have we can inspect here newly added blocks. It doesn't really matter which one you will choose. Just choose some of the with lots of transactions inside. So here, for example, I have 294 transactions. Oops, I clicked on the other one. Or let's say this first one. Okay, and we'll choose for a very simple transaction. For example, here, you look for a transaction that the method has a transfer. This is basically transferring Ether. Okay, I will click this one. I will also include the transaction in the resources so you can access it. Or actually, that doesn't really matter. You can just access any transaction where it's basically sending Ether from address to address, and that's basically it. Okay, so we can inspect here. I will open here. You can see here gas used by the transaction is 21,000. Okay, that's the standardized 21,000 gas for transaction. And here we have paid gas price. You can see the current gas price this account has paid for a gas was 22.95 and some small values. If you don't know how much gas you have to pay for, you can also later when we'll be sending transactions, we'll be doing it manually, or it can be also done automatically. But what we can search for is Ether gas station, and we can check what's the gas price currently. Okay, I think this is a bug. I cannot be for all the kinds of transactions for a fast standard and a trader the same price for this doesn't make much sense. I think something is bugged. Here. Okay, so depending on how much GWI you are willing to pay, the transaction will be processed. Of course, when you're paying lower GWI, lower Ethereum, the transaction will take slower time. So you can see for lower transaction, you will wait 10 minutes until the transaction will be processed. In the high when you pay a lots of GWI, you can have transaction resolved in 3 minutes. Okay, so that's the average price. You can see this user paid something less. He paid around 23 GWI. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to have a transaction where we want to pay 21,000 gas. Okay, so I told you every instruction on the blockchain you have to pay the gas for. So when you're doing some you're performing some computational instruction that your computer has to done, you're paying gas for it, okay? So in this case, 21,000 is for a normal transaction, transferring Ether from account to account, and this user paid some amount. So we need to get the 21,000 of the gas multiplied by the value of the gas currently, value 52.954954 and some smaller values. So I will multiply it now. I will go to calculator. I will say 21,000. Click here, multiplied by. I'll copy this number from Etherscan. Okay, so I'll copy this value of the GWI. So the gas price. I will copy it. Okay, and I'll paste it here. I hope it was pasted. Okay, that doesn't seem right. Okay. I guess I will be going with a normal. I'll try to copy it first. Let's say this value is not correct, right? No, it's not correct, definitely. Okay, so I need to go manually. 21,000 to 3 multiplied by 50. How much? 52 0.954 954, and then we have here 663 and 111, 663 and 111. Okay, so that's the value. We'll be able to copy it. Unfortunately not, I cannot copy it from a calculator. Okay, so I need to write it on a paper. Okay, this will be very interesting. Okay, so we have here value. Okay, so what was the value? Okay, so 1, 2, 047, 047, 047.925, 925, and 331. 331. Okay, so that's in a GWei, right? Because we have 21,000 gas multiplied by this GWei. And I want to transform it basically into ether. I need to go left spaces, 9 spaces to the left side. So basically, one ETH is then on the 9th of a GWei. Okay, so I need to go 9 spaces to the left side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so he'll be 0.00111 2 0 4 7 9 2 5 3 3 1 of the ETH I need to pay for a transaction. All right, so that's how much of an ETH I need to pay. Let's verify it. Okay, 0000, that's okay. 2595. All right. Here is a actual ether. I have to pay 0.0011, 0.00, 3 ones, 204, right? 7925, 7925, 331, 331. Yeah, same price. And currently the value of the Ethereum is I don't know even how much is for Ethereum right now. For Ether, 3,241 for 1 Ether. So this 0.001111 is in the Ether transfer to dollars is $3.60. So this is $3.60. Okay, so that's how you will transfer it basically. Okay, so yeah, that's the denominators of ETH. We have a GWei, also the other ones that we have basically computed. So you will set some gas for a transaction and how much you will pay for the gas, for a unit of gas. In the case of Ganache here, we said that we would like to place the top upper limit of for the gas. We are paying this amount at the most, and we are paying 20 billions of the we are paying 20 billions. So basically here we are paying 20 GWei. This is a 20 billion away for this amount of the gas. Of course, sometimes you will overpay for a transaction, but you're actually paying for a gas that has been used. Okay, so if your transaction will take the lower gas, as here, for example, this lower gas, and you use the rest of the gas, so rest of the Ethereum you paid for the gas will be returned back to your account. Okay, so if you will pay more, the rest that hasn't been used in the transaction will be returned back to the transaction initiator. Okay, as I'm saying here, I'm willing to pay as much of the gas, and this will be price for the gas. So when I will multiply these together, this gas limit and gas prices will get me how much Ether I will pay for the transaction. All right, guys, I hope I didn't confuse you much here, but basically that's how it works. So every transaction on the Ethereum has to be paid for. Okay, that's why this Ether, this account has already a lower balance, because we already made some transactions. We have deployed some contracts. Okay, guys, let's continue next lecture. Let's do some coding. Let's do some stuff and some practical stuff. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm explaining a lot of theory right now, but there is a lot of stuff about the blockchains and Ethereum that you need to know before you will get into programming. And I promise there will be lots of programming. It's a super extensive course. So guys, I hope to see you in the next lecture. Cheers.